behind the scenes with future country rock blues kings and queens. Discover them first with Palm Mash TV. Palm Mash TV.
Well, hello there. It's Paul Mash TV time again. Thank you so much for joining us. We got a great interview coming up for you in just a moment. But we have that subscribe button and bell buttons below you there. Just click those and you'll always get the latest interviews whenever available. And leave a comment on the comments section if you like. We'd love to hear from you there. And also check out the description part of this interview, and a contact info will be right there for you. And the contact info will also be repeated at the closing credits at the end of the show. So we hope you stay tuned for that. In just a second, from Chicago, Illinois, we have Walter J. Butts, the big man of gospel music. He's a very awesome artist, and I think you're going to agree. And we're going to get to that in a second because the interview starts right now. Okay, here we are with the interview, and with us from Chicago, Illinois, we have Walter J. Butts, the big man of gospel music. And thank you so much for coming on the show, Walter.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, no problem. We're glad to have you here. Well, why don't we start off by the obvious question I ask? I usually ask how you began, in the music industry, but you've probably been doing it ever since you were a kid. Tell us in your own words, though.
Well, I grew up in church, my grandfather's church, singing. And from there, I started singing around the city as a young teenager. Met Reverend James Cleveland when I was like 16, sung in front of him, and he said, "Boy, you trying to sound just like me," and encouraged me. I would go to the gospel music workshop. I've sung on stage with Albertina Walker, Jesse Dixon, the Thompson Community Singers, you name it. I've been around. And I did an album, two songs on Jesse Dixon album, Lord, I Lift My Spirit to You, and Lord, I Need a Breakthrough, that really took me across the country singing his songs.
Well, that's quite a story, and I'm glad that you chose music, and obviously you are very good at what you do, and we'll be able to highlight that in just a few minutes here. What were some of the gospel artists that influenced you? If you have any secular artists, you can mention those as well. But
well, mainly, I grew up in church, so my favorite artist was James Cleveland, the Mighty Clouds of Joy, Albertina Walker, Shirley Caesar, you name those. But then in the secular world, of course, I love The Temptation, Aretha Franklin, Smokey Robinson, all of those old timers. I love those and that music.
Yeah, those gospel artists you mentioned, I mean, definitely they were legendary, but especially like the Temptations and
yes,
you mentioned, I mean, they were legends in their own right too. So
that's right. My favorite.
Okay. Now, people watching this, they may want to go download your music on all the streaming sites, or maybe you have an official website. You're on all the social sites, so forth. Tell everybody how they can do all that.
Well, they can go to Facebook, they can go to YouTube, they can go to Spotify, Apple Music, and download my music. Right now, I have two singles, Let Praises Ring, and I have, with a video, Return Back to God America. Let Praises Ring video will be out in a couple more weeks. But you could just go to Spotify, Apple Music, wherever you get your music from. Just go and download it, just 99 cents.
Okay, so we just look for Walter J. Butts, big gut man of gospel music on all those social media sites and streaming sites.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, you heard the man himself. Go do that, and I know he would love you for that. And
they can also go to my website, bigmanbutts.com.
Oh, okay. All right. Now you just mentioned a minute ago, "Return Back to God America." That is the actual song we're going to be playing for you here. I know it's probably self-explanatory, but tell us a little story about that song.
Well, I wrote it about 30, maybe 40 years ago. And I recorded it about 10 years ago. And I finally got a chance to put it on a video and now release it to a broad audience. God gave me this song because the burden of drugs and degradation, the sins of our country, and the God concept seemed to have left America. There was a time when I grew up, if you wasn't a Christian, a Protestant, you were Catholic, you were Jehovah Witness, you were Seventh-day Adventist, you was um, a, Mormon, you were something that Muslim that believe in a God. But now we live in a time where the God conscious has left America. And so this song is for not just Christians, not just for Catholics, but for the whole world. Come back to God, that God conscious, and where we believe in a clean life. We believe in people being fair to one another and caring for one another. So all I'm just saying to the nation is a prayer of mine. Return back to God, America.
Mm. Well, that does have a good message to it, and I'm sure everybody will be happy to watch that. And we'll get to that in just a second. But Walter, thank you so much for being on the show today. We'd love to have you back sometime if you want anything to plug for us.
Thank you so much. I would love to come.
Okay. Well, here it is, Return Back to God America by Walter J. Butts, big man of gospel music, and it begins right now.
Our fathers had a dream of a land where we could be free to worship God, our Father, and raise our families. So many died for this dream we take so easily. But it was God who's kept our liberty. America, we're blessed to be a great nation, but our families are being destroyed from the drugs and degradation. America, if we don't change, God will judge us. So let's return back to God, America. We've all gone astray. We won't listen to what the preachers say. We made life so hard until we're living behind our own bars. When will we ever learn we need God in our lives? If this world is to be a better place, then we must find America. We're blessed to be a great nation, but our families are being destroyed from the drugs and degradation. America, if we don't change, God will judge us. So let's return back to God, America. Oh, if you listen, will you heed my plea? You see, this nation came from God. Can't you see? God has shown us how much He loves us. So why can't we give God our trust and return back Let's rejoice.